Hello and welcome to the 299th Rony's Tuesday fun race in Live for Speed. We are on the third round of the first season of 2023 at Rockingham International Long Reversed. Yep, reversed. That's the first time that's happened, I'm pretty sure. We're not using the chicane in this direction because it would be absolute carnage, and we're going to use the FZ5, which is a bit of a boat. Eoin, this is going to be a good one.
Yes, welcome along everybody. It's nearly the end of the month, just one day remaining, so it is a worthwhile venture to try something very different, and we'll see how the drivers cope in a very, very tricky situation.
Indeed we will. Let's take a look at the combination that we're going to be running around this evening. It's a good one. It's Rockingham, which we always love, but it's a new thing. We are going to be doing it in the reverse direction. All of this standard Rockingham layouts, Owen, as you know, they only operate in the anti-clockwise direction normally from start finish, so we're going to head clockwise around the track, which is a bit unusual, and we're going to do that for 17 laps in the FZ5. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. It should be good. Thanks for tuning in to Sim Broadcasts for RTFR. Again, we love covering this series, and we have a big milestone next week, Owen, in 2 weeks time, sorry, the 300th ever RTFR at a combination which is still being voted on the LFS forum. If you want to have a say on what this milestone race will be hosted at, please check out the LFS forum. All right, let's have a look then at the car. The FZ5 hasn't been around for on our broadcasts for a long time, so best to recap it. A 3.6 litre flat six rear engine rear-wheel drive car, weighing 1.5 tons nearly, with 360 horsepower. A fantastic little car. And yeah, we have the results from qualifying, Owen, in, so we will have a quick look at that. The qualifying session concluded moments ago. It is Vytautas Lagutskas who takes pole yet again. We don't know if he's going to start the race, but we may or may not have him with us. We will see. If not, it will be the winner last time out, Owen, starting in P2.
Yeah, Antivalta had a very, very stellar run. To the last time around, it was quite chaotic to say the least, with the West Hill, wasn't it? Yeah, that was West Hill, wasn't it?
You put me on the spot.
Yeah, it should have been West Hill, yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe. We will have to see. I think it was Rockingham. It was Rockingham that
was a different one.
Yeah, it was a different one. So yeah, I think so. It was prototypes at West Hill last time. I think it's XL. I think it's the round, in fact, that you weren't here for, Owen. I think I put you on the spot there.
Okay, no problem. Yeah,
but there we go. So Sidus Gabor in P3, Niemanen in P4, Owner, Asker, Nozzle, Fatal, Lorenzo, and Texas are the top 10. Then it's TJ for Road Appraiser, Twin Cam for Born to Race, Falcon for Race Screen, Zedafar Thamuli, 3 Jump, Haristo Ichov, then Sidus Monke, all the way down in 17th, which is unusual. Then we've got Dario, Timusoni, and Rony himself rounding up the top 20. Over on our second page of results, we've got 34 qualifiers. It's Alexander Darman, Donny, Hoatanen, South, Camaro 735, Yari Katila, Mikva, Magic, Michael, Igor, Mies, Noel, Yaroslav Donolik, and Bachok. Twix Bachok there at the bottom. Unsure whether Twix Bachok will be allowed to start because his time is outside the 107% time limit.
Yeah, that's not ideal to say the least for Twix. Could be a case of try again next time, or if there's a bit generous stewarding, he might be let in. Yeah, I did notice LG Mies had a bit of trouble getting his time registered, but yeah, I think he's sorted now, so he should be all clear underneath that 107% rule.
Yeah, hopefully he is. Before we start the race, let's talk about the Drivers' Championship standing as it currently sits. It's Rick Cardle after 2 rounds with 52 points ahead of Fragmaster's Fatal. Then it's Gabor, who I believe is the only top Sidus driver here today. I don't think Rick Cardle's even on the server for this one. So we won't be seeing Rick Cardle tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, so it's Fatal's opportunity to score some valuable points. He qualified in 8th He may start as high as 7th if Lagutskas decides not to take the start. Then we've got Gabor in P3 in the championship, followed by Antti Valter, who had that win in XL, I think, last week. Then we've got Ona, Upsas, Rony, Michael unite and number the top 10. Igor, Koivunen, Thamuli, Kun, Leo, Donny, Pablo, Oscar, Rex, and Lorenzo. And we have a couple of pages of these screens usually because of the number of drivers who score points in RTFR. We'll let those swing by. This is an unusual combination. The FZ5 is notoriously hard to drive, just like the FXO was last week. But a great combination and something unusual to try. Rockingham in the reverse direction. It's going to be novel.
Yeah, that's certainly true. You'd notice just how tail happy the FZ5 is with the engine towards the back. You'll see the drivers if they're going to go side by side at a track that can either be helpfully wide around the oval, or as you'll see on the track map, there are some extremely narrow sections. Gracelands, you really shouldn't be going side by side there. And then Yentwood is also extremely treacherous with the camber that you can find there. And in reverse, the drivers will be approaching it in a different way than you'd expect. And then there's also Chapman. That could be another area that will catch people out on the pinch point. So, yeah, plenty of threats to trip up the drivers today.
Yeah, especially in the FZ5. I mean, I know the FZ5 is heavy, but without downforce, without any aerodynamic downforce, the FZ5 is going to be tricky through Chapman. A downhill, left-hand, off-camber corner. So we might see a few cars in the gravel on lap 1 down at Chapman and Yentwood. So that's going to be interesting. I have no idea what to expect, Owen, because obviously we just haven't run some of these corners in this direction ever.
Yeah, indeed. We'll just see what the drivers have done to overcome these challenges, and if there is a clean rundown to what is going to be the oval turn 4, that's what they'll be greeted with first. And then the Gretton hairpin, usually those sleeping policeman curbs are there as a deterrent on the exit, but now you have to be turning in as you have to get into the braking zone. So if someone forgets where they're going, they might end up bouncing around horrendously and losing a ton of time.
Yeah, I can certainly expect that. And we're going to have racing in about 3 minutes' time around the very, very tricky Rockingham Autodrome. I do love Rockingham. I was watching some of the old videos I recorded last night, actually, and I commented on the fact of just how photorealistic Rockingham is. And even though it was released a long time ago in LFS, because of how photorealistic it was at the time, I still feel as though it is just such a nice track to drive, frankly. It's just a great environment to throw the cars of LFS around. It's a treat every single time. So, if you haven't seen Rockingham before in LFS, just go grab yourself a copy of S3 and drive around it. It's just such a pleasant experience. I don't know how many of our drivers tonight, Owen, are going to call it a pleasant experience in this heavy, tyre-munching FZ5.
Yeah, anyone who makes to the finish, they'll probably be feeling grateful to make it. It's only a 17-lap race, so in inverted commas only. So hopefully we have a high finishing rate, and we'll get an honest opinion of the drivers, see how many find the pleasantries that you believe in, Pete.
Well, I certainly hope that they do find it pleasant. I enjoy the FZ5. The FZ5 is a good laugh, but it is just difficult. I mean, it's just a difficult, heavy machine. 1 minute to go. The drivers should be readying up any moment now. And very much looking forward to this. We are one race away in RTFR from the big time. The 300th edition is coming up in 2 weeks' time on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. And if you're wanting to vote on the combination for that, then please do on the LFS forum in the RTFR subsection. There is a vote for the combo currently open, and I won't spoil it for you. I won't tell you what's currently leading that. Maybe we can talk about it at the end of the race, but there we go. If you want to go and vote for that, then voting is still open over on the LFS forum. 17 laps. I think in that sort of time, I mean, it's about half an hour. I think the tyres are going to be screaming at some of these drivers. If we thought the if we thought the FXO was bad, I think the FSO5 is going to be something else. At least this is a shorter race. There is that. A little bit of solace for the drivers. Yeah, before we get going, worth mentioning that once again, RTFR and RTFR XL, of course, sponsored by World Class Lions. There is prize money available, 150 euros of prize money available for both the RTFR and RTFR XL championships, so 300 euros in total. And yeah, it's a lovely prize offered by the World Class Lions team. So something for the drivers to compete for towards the end of the year. If you like the sound of that and you want to join us, then please go ahead and join us on a Tuesday afternoon in LFS. You just drive, set a time, and if you're in the top 40, you get to start the race. It's as simple as that. All right, drivers are readying up, and we should have cars waiting on a start grid for us right now, Owen.
That's correct. So yeah, we'll have a look at our customized cameras. As the track is now in reverse, we have to adjust everything from scratch. So thank you to Chris, our liaison, for sorting those out for us today. So it is actually Vytautas Laguskas on the grid. He's decided to turn up, making his advantage count, being so strong, ahead of Antti Valta. Long hold, but the wheels spin and they're off. We'll see if Valta has given Laguskas some thinking to do here. He certainly has. Nieminen is going to observe what happens there. Owner in fifth, also strong. Gabor down a position. So here we go into the first braking point. And there's going to be a real pinch here. See what happens. And is Valta into the lead? That's a great move.
Yeah, Antti Valta took that one and held on to it. Laguskas on the back foot immediately as we head into the infield. This is so strange seeing this, I have to say. A very unusual thing to behold. We're so used to it on other tracks, Owen, but here it just doesn't make sense. To me, my brain is all backwards as we head into Tarzan in the wrong direction. I wonder how many drivers are going to struggle through here. So far, so good. I hear a little bit of scraping further up. But everybody looks to be through cleanly. We're watching Rony somewhere in that melee, heading up towards Gracelands for the first time. But it's Antti Valta who makes a great attempt here. He's down to Kirby already. And, well, the next job for him is the tricky next right-hander up towards Piff Paff before we reach the corner we talked about in the pre-show, Owen, that might be a little bit difficult on the first lap. Chapman curve, here it comes. I can't wait. Let's see.
Yeah, wait for it. There's the turn in. Yeah, there are going to be a few sliding rear ends coming here as we head into Yentwood. And that's fine. Yeah, it seems like the drivers have toned it down for the race setup. Whereas in qualifying, I think 5 or 6 drivers were sliding it at Chapman. So, and then the Dean hairpin concludes the lap.
Yeah, they got away with it on this lap, but let's ask that question again in 16 laps time when their tyres are nice and hot. Here we come, up to the start finish on the end of the first lap. Half a second gap between Antti Valta and Vytautas Laguskas. And wow, what a spectacle this is. I wish they were still racing at Rockingham. An unbelievable venue in the UK. Sadly defunct, but we can still enjoy it in Live for Speed. And what a treat that is. As we head into the Gretton hairpin, we've got Twin Cam versus Lorenzo just coming past our camera shot there. And yeah, that's a tasty little battle that's happening in the midfield. And they're still side by side coming out of Gretton down the short run at Steel Straight. And Lorenzo has managed to keep that car ahead for now.
Yeah, for now is the key word. It's a long way to go. And we can see Gabor into third place ahead of Nieminen. And in fact, Nieminen pulls out a gap on Owner, who had a bad exit from Tarzan. So yeah, Gabor knows the seriousness of this event without his teammates in support. This gives him a personal benefit, as he won't have any inter-team rivalry that'll take points off him, but at the same time he doesn't have that same alliance that he can trust to guarantee strong results.
Yeah, Ricatella side by side into Kirby as we go back on board. That's with Alexander Darman, and Alexander looks like he's got through. Yes, he has. There he goes. And that's a move for him up to P21. All right. Well, as we head through Chapman again, it looks like we don't have anybody in the gravel just yet, so they're doing a really good job here. I have to say, Eoin, this is a bizarre experience. When the cameras were on the cars in the midfield, I had absolutely no idea where they were.
Yes, it's taking a lot to get used to because, I think Rockingham is one of the favourites that you tend to pick a side and stick with it. Whereas we know the LFS specific tracks, you can drive them in all sorts of combinations in ordinary and reverse, whereas it feels like because of Rockingham's status as a real life track, it feels like the reverse is a very, very rare treat.
Yeah, when we were building the cameras for this, Chris noticed that there's a curb. I think it's just the exit of Tarzan. I think they're coming up to it. They'll be coming up to it now. Watch on board with Anti-Valter on the right-hand side as they exit Tarzan. There's a very, very short curb there, which indicates that at some point there may have been reverse direction racing. Here it is, this short curve on the right-hand side, perfectly placed for a car to run out onto. So maybe at some point there was reverse racing here.
Yeah, so it is a matter of fact that the game has just Rockingham in its regular specification, but if you want it in reverse, you have to create the custom layout to achieve it. So, this is a little bit extra work that has gone into it from RTFR's side of things. Owner here having an onboard shot following Neiman closely heading into Chapman. Gotta watch out for the big orange lump there on the left-hand side. Now, Yentwood, again, similar case. Can't be getting put onto two wheels or none through that corner. And now the run down to the start-finish straight is coming.
Yeah, we're getting a bunching effect for our top three. Lagutskas has caught Anti-Valter slightly, and Gabor is still there. So these three are right together with a bit of a gap opening up to Neiman and Owner behind. But yeah, as you mentioned before, actually, interesting that Gabor doesn't have his teammate to play with today. Rick Cardle, I'm not sure where he is. I hope he's all right. But yeah, hopefully we see him back next time. Unusual not to see him on the grid of RTFR.
Yeah, we can generally trust Sidus to come in a trio or a quartet. Fastest lap was achieved there by the aforementioned Gabor. It was a 152.84, and this means there is immense pressure. The toil and trouble from the two purple cars will be extremely tense now. Watching the apex entry, yeah, that's fine from Valter.
Yeah, I said we were going to have a battle for the lead. Well, I didn't say it that explicitly, but we're going to have one, I think, because the Gutscast was all over the back of Valter going into Tarzan. Here we go through Gracelands now, and there's a run down to Kirby on the steel straight that he may be able to make a move. He's not quite close enough, but I think if he keeps this distance, he might have an opportunity to slip past on the oval. And this is the point in the race where Valter's tyres are going to be getting pretty hot, and if he hasn't managed them properly as they head through Piff Paff, he's going to start being caught quite quickly. A little bit of a tail out from Valter, but he's got it under control. And look, Gabor's right there as well. Our top three nose to tail, less than half a second almost separating them. Lagutskas tighter line in. He's lining himself for a nice exit. But Valter's actually had quite a good exit there, Owen.
True that. It is a good getaway. He used that tight entry, and then as the oval banking kicks in, he got the acceleration required. Niemanen on his own here without a slipstreaming partner means that Owner will be feeling chipper. You can possibly get the move done in the next few corners. You may be patient for the moment. Yeah, hits the barrier on the outside, but then the inside line opens up. He's got to be wary of the overshoot, uses the handbrake to keep himself alive as Texas unfortunately drops out with a timeout.
Yeah, in the background, Fatal overtook Oscar on his journey to the front. Let's see what's going on, but I think the battle at the front has somewhat fizzled out. Valter has pulled a small gap, which disappears as I say that, into Tarzan. The concertina effect is quite quite a lot here. As we've got Rony and Michael going for a battle. Rony there in the bright green and white FZ5, and Michael running his traditional, his favourite colour, I think is red. I think that's fair to say. Rony, he's going for a look. He's trying to upset Michael's rearview mirror. Michael went a bit defensive, so he must feel as though Rony has some chance, but no such luck right now for him there.
Back to the leaders, picking the onboard camera for Valta. Yeah, he's got a really good rhythm taking place here. Everything that the guys behind can think of, Valta has it covered. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he got a great launch out of Yentwood, and now he's gonna try that trick again. Yes, very good. Augustas cannot get the back end stable enough, so maybe Gabor is thinking this is his chance, and I think there might be a bit of cooperation here.
Yeah.
Yes, a handshake agreement. Let me through, says Gabor, and then we'll help each other in that regard. So this is very fascinating. So yeah, Gabor is well clear now in second place. Laguskas may want to cool down the tires a bit. Yeah, you can feel the traction control kick in particular. So yeah, Gabor will now throw his best pitches and see if Valta can defend his boundaries here.
Yeah, Igor's got in the slipstream of Magic exiting the fourth oval corner. Goodness me, this is confusing. As we head back into the Gretton hairpin on the outside for Igor. And Magic cutting back across and handing the inside line back to Igor. And actually he's gone on the grass, so Igor is going to make that move, I'm pretty sure. Or is he? Magic's still on the inside.
Yes, this is very courageous from Magic, keeping it committed through the brook curve before Tarzan. So yeah, it is a case that Igor hangs on, and now he's got to make sure he doesn't overshoot Tarzan. Checking out another race screen battle. This is Falcon taking on this is South, actually. Yeah, South, with Dario for air attack in full view of this as well. This is Piff Paff now. Got to be extra careful due to the nature of that curve. It really closes in on you. So yeah, good job here for Falcon.
Yeah, nice job opening that gap up again as our leaders are heading out onto the oval once again. Actually, they're coming up to start-finish. Well, look at that. Look at the gap that Valta has over Gabor and Lagutskas. Lagutskas might have overdone it on the tyres, maybe, or is he just going to conserve them for a little bit later? As we have this wonderful camera view. Who's that side by side? That looks like Asker and Twincam. So Twincam actually has drawn up to the back of Asker. And we've got Magic and Igor side by side yet again. Those two glued together on the oval.
Yeah, how about that? Very determined effort here for Magic just to keep his mind set on getting this position. Igor's going to be loose. This is very uncomfortable for Igor, so he has to lay off the power for the moment before the braking zone. Oh, he's going to undercut him here.
Oh my goodness me, how late on the brakes was he? He went from defending to attacking. I did not see that coming. I don't think Magic saw that coming either.
Yeah, that was a big surprise there from Igor. Another surprise is Daman was not so very strong out of Brook. So Houtanen has a look on the inside. It could be a formality. Yeah, he's going to block the exit as well. So yeah, beautifully done. And now Graceland's Houtanen nowhere near the apex, so it puts off Daman as well. So Yari Katila can see what's going on here. Daman too close to the grass on that occasion, and he's overcooked it into Kirby. Watch out. Oh, that was close.
Look at this beautiful angle as we head through Piff Paff. I enjoy that a lot, Owen.
Yeah, here. Great stuff. So you had different styles here into that was Chapman. So yeah, Daman is probably not aiming for the apexes compared to what you'd expect, and now he's left the door open. Yari can't do it. Magic on the outside. That would be audacious.
Absolutely. Well, actually, yeah, Magic's been pretty strong. He's held up Igor. Igor must have given him a bit of a shock at the end of the halfway around the last lap. But as we head back onto start finish, Haltonen's making good his advantage. Someone else who's making good their advantage is Anti-Valter. The gap at the front up to first over 1 second for pretty much the first time in the entire race. But it looks like the action today, Owen, is happening at the back. We've got Igor and Magic side by side again. No, Igor backs out of it and Magic holds on. But this is a really close group. And, it's from about P20 downwards. So good stuff.
Yeah, precisely. The case of the leaders, we know the very first week, the LX4s, it was impossible to leave the contenders of the victory. They were just so closely matched. Today it seems like we get to give the midfielders their chance to shine, and this will go to the bitter end without a doubt.
Yeah, well, indeed. Proof again that it doesn't matter where you qualify in RTFR, you're always going to have someone to battle, and that's what we love about this series. It really is open to everybody. There is a place for you on this grid in the future if you want to join. As Magic goes for a move side by side into Kirby with Darman, and it's an interesting move. Not quite enough to make that stick, and Igor looks to be right there as well.
Yeah, and Camaro in the turquoise FZ5 is also in view. Now 3 wide. Oh, this will be extremely nail-biting here. Igor decides to back out. Magic is high, so he's going to be at risk of hitting the barrier. Yeah, he rubs off the barrier. Just the left, the driver's door, I think, on the left side would have been bumping off the wall. So, oh yes, here we go. Igor's got another opportunity to put an attack in here. Magic has to stay in the middle. The car is now drifting down. Damon is really sliding. I think he's burned the tires. The rear left is in very poor shape, reaching that orangey brown level. So I'm afraid Damon has very uncomfortable driving to do for the next lap. If he wants to pit, that would be the end of his honest competition, barring dropouts or anything like that. So yeah, he needs to probably find the gap after Camaro and just ease off.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the action at the back. The action at the front is pretty stalemate, as we've got there world-class lines driving off the track slightly. That was Yari. And, he looks to be okay. This track is a little bit forgiving on the grass. Not all the time, but there you go, as he drops another wheel. Interestingly, the test patch, Owen, the dust colour when the drivers drive onto the grass has changed as Magic goes into, makes a place there. Sends one up the inside of Yari. But yeah, the dust colour has been updated, so we get a nice kind of muddy brown when the drivers go onto the grass now instead of an invisible green.
Yeah,
Thinkamp versus Oscar.
No detail is overlooked, really. That's very good to see. So, Twin Cam there in position to defend. Arska is going to see what happens on the rise back up the oval banking. Then Grattan, the really deceiving hairpin. It just gets narrower and narrower before you can finally let off the off the brake and back on the gas. But it's a very short run down as well to Brooks. So now back on board, we have Valta still in the lead, but Gabor has put in the best showing of his stint so far. Here's another look at the early to mid 20 position runners.
Yeah, he's trying to make up 2 places. He got past Yari on the intro. Magic struggling with tyres there, and Igor's made up 2 places. Yari can't quite sneak through. Oh, but he's out of position. And Magic might have a go back into Tarzan. No, he doesn't. So Magic loses a place.
Oh, contact with Yari. Oh, Yari has to work hard to stop the slide there. And he's done it. Thankfully, Camaro was not going to risk anything by lunging at the world-class Lions driver.
Yeah, and I don't know what Valter's been doing. Maybe he's been making some errors, or maybe those tyres are getting just a little bit hot because the gap at the front is down to 0.2 of a second. And as we exit out of the Dean hairpin for the 10th time, Gabor is back in the hunt. And, well, it looks like Valter keeps getting the great exits out of the Dean hairpin, which means he is unable to be overtaken by Gabor on the oval. He's breaking the slipstream lap after lap. But I think it's going to be the infield where he comes under a bit of pressure. Oh, Gabor having to correct as we head into the Gretton hairpin.
Yeah, but he's well alert to the looseness there. That shows the quality of Gabor's driving week after week. So Valter just has to carry on doing what he's doing, but it's just increasing the pressure on himself because the car will eventually fail to be consistent if the tire temperatures remain high or if they're at risk of getting high. So Gabor's agreement there with Legusgas, it may pay off in a huge way for him down the line.
Yeah, they've got the track to themselves, these guys. Look, there's no one else around. They can just enjoy their own battle, but it is Valter who is feeling a little bit of the pressure now as they head back through Piff Paff and down towards Chapman. Or Gabor, he is right there. Let's see, can he get the better exit and carry on his charge at the front instead of in P2? Or Valter's under a lot of pressure here, and it's from the man you don't want to be under pressure from. It's Gabor, but again, Valter hooks it up really nicely, Eoin, out of the final corner.
Right, Jar, yeah, he's got the technique absolutely nailed down, and there is a pit stop somewhere on the track. Who would it be? Oh, it's someone who's, yeah, it's Twix, who was originally outside the 107% qualifying time, so he is able to refuel, but he didn't change tires, which was perhaps worth a while. Yeah, he'll be a lap down now.
Yeah, as we continue focusing on our leaders, Legutskas even has started to bunch up. The gap to the leaders from him has dropped back down under the 2-second mark. So yeah, he's closing in as well. We've got a car exiting pits, but I think that's a lap down, is it? It is.
Yeah,
now.
That's Twix. Yeah,
so that's Twix. Yeah, okay. Joins behind TJ. Lorenzo's catching south quite quickly as we head towards the first corner. And is he going to go for a move south wide?
Dario, watch out for Dario.
Oh, goodness me. He arrived at a rate of knots. And luckily not into the back, but it's Lorenzo who's making the move around the outside into Brook. No, what is this? This is Brook. Yes, reverse direction is still confusing me as we head into Brook and down the school straight to Tarzan.
South looks to be doomed to lose position and in fact takes a hit.
Was he bumped or was he pushed? Did he jump or was he pushed? I think he was pushed.
I think he was pushed. Lorenzo has claimed the position P12 now. That's his for as long as he can hang on to it. But South has become the latest driver to hit the cliff on his tyres. He's got to now be wary of Ichkov. We'll see if Dario can time a move on South to the ideal moment. You can see here through Chapman, it's very, very difficult to get side by side. Fastest lap achieved again by Gabor, 152.57, but Valter remains steadfast.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. The margins at the front are so fine. Legutskas again has dropped off from our two front runners, so dropping off slightly as we continue to watch Dario chasing South onto the oval. I think he's going to get through. I don't think South's going to be able to take the first oval turn 4 as quickly as Dario. Let's see. South is going to have to be very careful through here. Dario's going for the inside. He knows. Oh, he's backed out of it. I can't believe it. South pushes through, gets a slide on, and Dario might have a good opportunity here into turn one. Let's see, will he be later on the brakes? Yes, ever so slightly, and there he goes. Up the inside. Nice move. And, oh, yes, he's managed to get the place.
Well, Dario wanted to block the apex. Couldn't do it, but the move's already done. Ichkov and the Hamuli side by side through Brook, who will surrender into Tarzan. The Hamuli later on the brakes, but the turn in is so tricky. It's Dario still side by side with South that influences this battle as a consequence. Now, who has who's got the better grip here? Yeah, it looks like the Hamuli is through.
South
hasn't
back.
given up.
He's not giving up at all. He's grabbing onto this. He really doesn't want to give up this place. Fair play. He's dealing with some pretty hot tyres there and has managed to get back on Dario. So, well, can't take it away from him. That was a good move.
Yeah, wonderfully done.
Oh,
and still, 2 wheels there. Look like we had the Twix car with the blue flags out on 2 wheels. So, Twix will need to go high into Dean just to stay out of the way. Watch out. Yeah, maybe he's just got one more chance. Yeah, he should be okay now. The other drivers will get through.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant driving at the back. It looks like a lot of fun. Meanwhile, at the front, in the less fun category, we've got Valter sweating ahead of Gabor, who is probably also sweating because he can't catch Valter right now. These two pushing absolutely, well, 100%, it has to be said. The Gutscast, 2.7 seconds now back from our leader. He's struggling.
Yeah, it is a struggle. It's not going well, as you'd expect for Laguskas. P3 on his own. Owner is all the way down at Graceland still, so it goes to show you the deficit. So we'll carry on watching the midfielders again. How about this? The Hamuli's ahead of South, and Dario is dropped behind. Wow, that's an extraordinary development.
Yeah, good move there from Thamuli. Now on the outside of Dario. Dario is everywhere. He's up, he's down, he's all around, and now he's challenging for the lead of this pack. We don't really want to watch the leaders at this point. It's all going on in the midfield as we head through Gracelands in the wrong direction towards Kirby once again. It's all go in the midfield. I do love a midfield battle in RTFR.
Michael Malik is here as well.
Yeah, he's arrived.
He says, out of my way, South. Rony as well. He's going to see 3 jump sliding. Who do you look at, Pete? I can't decide.
Well, luckily Chris has armed us with these super wide cameras, which means I don't have to do much work. I can just choose it and we watch it unfold from a distance. Such is Rockingham. It's an autodrome in a man-made, I think. It's in an old quarry actually. So you can see all of the track from these wonderful grandstands. It's a fantastic venue. So yeah, it makes it a little bit easier when we've got this many cars all fighting. Just use a wide camera. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Make the use of the surroundings. So South in 16th still. We'll see if Michael has the latest ability to get through on South, or South can hang on. We'll be too far back from this position.
South. Oh, yes, he went in too hot. His tyres could not cope with that, and he's absolutely nailed. Who was that he nailed? I can't actually...
It's Ichkov or Ichkov.
Oh, Ichkov, okay. So one of our newcomers. I don't think I've seen this name before, but Ichkov rejoined into the path of Rony. Oh, and Ichkov returns the favour straight into the back of South. Didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, and Christo had no clue that was going to happen.
Oh, South's really on a mission here. South's on a mission. Oh, he's tagged the back of Michael. South is overdriving this car and making contact with quite a few people here. So not fantastic driving at the moment from him. Somehow he managed to tag Michael when Michael was about 10 car lengths ahead of him going into Tarzan. So that's how late you left that.
Yeah, and we're now down to the penultimate lap. Valta has a lead of 4 tenths of a second. Laguskas has well and surely disappeared for these two. So Gabor has another 20 or so corners to try and overturn this deficit and win this 299th edition of RTFR. Through Brook they go, much slower corner in this specification. Tarzan pretty much exactly the same, very similar run towards it, just the wider bit of tarmac on the outside compared to the other way around. So Gabor, his best chance is most likely going to be the next attempt into Gretton, because we've seen Valta's launches out of the tighter corners. He's just so adept. There is a lapped car that could be Donnelly, I think. Might double check that. So yeah, they are quite a way ahead, but these guys are just on a mission here. They could catch up before the end. So we'll see now. Yentwood, it's too narrow, so Gabor has to follow. Now it is one more thought. Yeah, you won't get it there. So now last lap, Pete.
Yeah, the final lap. Gabor has to turn the screws. He has to use every single inch of rubber that he's got left on those massive tyres on the FZ5. Valter, yet again, a fantastic exit out of Dean. It's the one place where he's been able to stretch that advantage consistently against Gabor. And as we head over start-finish for the penultimate time, it's advantage to Valter. Can he make it 2 from 2 in Rockingham? He dispatched with Rick Cardle the last time he was driving here in a funny turn of events where Rick Cardle had a 15-second lead and botched his pit stop on the penultimate lap. But it does look like Valter has also maybe done a bit of tyre saving as well, because look at this, the gap is going up and up and up. On the final lap, Valter had some stuff in reserve by the looks of it, because he's pushing pretty hard. You might be right about Donnelly here. They really are catching up to him pretty fast. So yeah, look at this. They're coming up into Tarzan as Donnelly actually bails onto the gravel. Probably a wise move to get well out of the way of this. The lead battle for round 3 of the RTFR Championship, season 1 of 2023. Oh, but Gabor's back. He's back under the rear end of that car, but the gap, Owen, really big.
Yeah, it'll feel like an eternity for Gabor to catch Valta here. Piff Paff awaits. Yeah, you see, you have to get down on the brakes there, hitting 70 miles per hour. Another shot out of Chapman. Here is another left-hander through Yentwood. And I think LG Meese is going to be blue flag, but I don't think he has to obey them. He is far enough ahead. Valta will appreciate the clean air, or the dirty air turned into a bit of slipstream.
That's a great effort. A really great effort. Gabor's conceded. Valter's started to celebrate. Good effort from these front two. That was an epic battle. 6 seconds back to Laguskas. That's how hard they were pushing. Laguskas, as we know, no slouch. But it's Antti Valter who comes across the line to win round number 3 of RTFR Season 1, Round 3. Oh, Owen, what a race that was. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes, marvelous show. Everybody has something to talk about there, and I did get the strong finishing rate I was looking for. The drivers have generally been able to keep the car running through to the end, so we'll see more cars crossing the line. Owner, Niemanen, Nossel, Fatal, but then the lapped cars also coming as well. Twin Cam in 8th.
Yeah, we've still got a battle on here between Rony and who's that he's battling with? Dario. So Dario finding himself in fights all through the race. Michael and South are side by side coming through the final corner as well. South, well, he's using every single inch of that rubber, but it's going to be Michael, only just in the end. Michael and South coming across the line pretty much nose to tail. But Antti Valter, he's already on the podium. And we have a camera for that.
Yeah, he knew exactly where to go. I think he's got the winning feeling all of a sudden. Yeah, if he can carry this form into the spring after this extraordinary January he's had, yeah, I will be very pleased for him, and it'll mean more variety for RTF4 and beyond.
Oh, this was absolutely brilliant. Credit to Rony for trying out Rockingham in the reverse direction. I loved it. It made things a little bit more interesting for us, certainly. It gave Chris a few late nights making the cameras for it, because it's tricky to do reverse direction of a track that doesn't have cameras on it already. So yeah, fair play. Or a path, he said in my ear. Anyway. Yeah, good effort from Rony and Chris on this one, I have to say, and very well done to Anti-Valter once again. And that is all she wrote. Owen, everybody has now finished, and we can confirm the finishing order after a pretty entertaining race, I have to say. Anti-Valter on the podium behind the results screen here, finished in 32 minutes. But it was Lagutskas who registers the fastest lap, a 1:52.2. Gabor on this occasion has to settle for P2, picking up points. Then it's Ona, Niemanen, Nozzle, Fatal, Twincamp, TJ, and Falcon, the top 10. Asker is in P11 with Lorenzo behind him in 12th. Then it's Thamuli, Michael Malik for MRC, South, Dario for Air Attack, Rony for Race Green, 3 Jump, Road Appraisers Igor in 19th, and Hortonen in P20.
Completing the order for today, we've got Hristo Ichkov in 21st, so welcome if you are new to the series. Good job. Yargtila, very familiar name there, 22nd, just beating out Magic. 24th place goes Camaro. Then we've Daman, Soini, Migfa, and LG Mies, who nearly got lapped but was probably relieved to see the checkered flag coming for the leader, so he got one last chance to finish on the lead lap. Not so fortunate there, Yaroslav Donalik and Twitch Botchok. And unfortunately, we did have one DNF, and that was MRC's Texas, who I'm sure would have enjoyed a midfield battle of his own if he got to carry on as planned.
Yeah, unfortunately, he timed out of the server early on, so that spelled the end of his race. But that will draw to a close the third round of the first season in 2023 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race. And, well, oh boy, does that mean we have a milestone on our hands. Because next time out, Owen, it is going to be the 300th edition of this championship. I can't believe the number of RTFRs that there have been. But we are going to be saying goodbye to the 200ths and saying hello to the 300th on February the 14th with a combination which is yet to be decided. Come on, if you haven't already, go to the LFS forum and vote. We want to see a lot of votes on that thread, just to make it a celebration. I mean, unfortunately, I won't be here for it, which is a little bit gutting, I have to say. I'm going to miss the milestone.
It's a pity, but I'm sure you'll have a great time for your Valentine's. So we'll hopefully cover the day on your behalf, and we'll see how the vote turns out as well. That's going to be hotly anticipated.
Yeah, we can announce that at some point, probably during one of our other broadcasts, because this is quite a special occasion. Rony deserves all the pomp and circumstance for this milestone, 300 RTFRs, and it's going to be great. Don't miss it, like I am, on February 14th. That is going to be epic. I hope it's good for you, Owen. I hope you enjoy it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Emil.
All right, ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sim Broadcasts. We appreciate your viewership, of course. If you want to support us even further, you can by subscribing or following on Twitch, all the good stuff, or liking the video on YouTube once it goes over there, and subscribing to our channel on YouTube. That would be great as well to see whenever we post any new content on our channel. So, from all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, a very big thank you to Chris McElroy, who did a shift on this round to provide us with some fabulous camera angles at RTFR at Rockingham in a reverse direction, which is the first time we've done that ever. And of course to you, Owen, brilliant calling as ever. Thanks to our drivers. Congratulations to Anti-Valter on making it a double win at Rockingham in RTFR and XL over the last couple of weeks. And to all of the drivers, we just thank them for their for their continued attendance. It's great to see big grids at RTFR.
Yeah, we're getting very high averages again. Drivers are now sensing the balance. They're able to turn up to more races, and they'll see more opponents ready for them as well. So it's a sort of win-win situation.
Yeah, world-class lines again. We thank the sponsors of this series for providing the prize money at the end. We really appreciate that. It's nice to have that kind of reward for the drivers as well. So that's really great. Thanks to WCL. From all of us here at Sim Broadcast, we hope you have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you on Sunday for the final round of the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship. We hope you join us for that. If you haven't already signed up, you can join us for the final round of the championship. Why not? Go and find the MRC Rallycross Championship details on the LFS forum, and why not throw in a sign up? If you can't sign up or you're busy, tune into the broadcast. It will be happening at 6:20 UTC this Sunday, the final round of MRC RX Season 3. From all of us here at Sim Broadcast, have a great evening. Good night.
Bye-bye.